I've been loving seeing you here on True Lies as Gib. Was there something about this role or about the series itself that really made you want to be a part of it?
You know, what I was signing up for was fun. I was signing up to hopefully recreate that feeling that I had when I left the movie theater in the 90s. That was just a lot of fun, escapism. You stepped into that theater, and if I remember correctly, the movie was really long. So for that, like 2.5 hours, you were in a whole different place. And I know for me, my life was a lot simpler then, and the world seemed like it was a lot simpler then than it is now. So it felt like something that that people could use a bit of escapism, so that for our hour while you watch our show, it's like an hour action comedy film every week. And in that, I wanted to be a part of something that can help people, step away from the troubles of the world for a little bit.
This one has action, it has comedy. I mean, curious how you keep a straight face with Steve all the time. It might not be as
I
easy as
don't.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, a lot of what happens is they have to piece takes together because we're all cracking up. There's some funny people on this show, like no joking around. There's some really, really funny people. And Steve is really funny in real life. Ginger, forget about it. You get to see how funny Ginger is because hers translates on the tape. But we had a lot of laughs. There was a lot of messed up takes, put it like that. The gag reel of this show should be great.
All right, we'll hold our breath until we get a DVD, Blu-ray coming up with
Yeah,
some good
you
outtakes on.
guys need to talk to Matt Nix about that. There
All
should
right.
be a gag reel somewhere that's worth watching. I'm
All
telling
right.
you.
Was there anything about Gib that you added that maybe wasn't in the original breakdown for him?
Yeah, I think so. Whenever I get a role, I'm gonna put my own seasoning salts on it. And with that, Gibb takes a different position in the team in the series. And he's the quarterback slash, marriage counselor slash brother and friend. And then you have these other elements that come in, like a Keith David, where you learn about his backstory with his parents and how he got to this position and, what drove him to want to become what he is. And so for me, I take that and, process it all, take it inside of me, and then what you see on screen is what I came up with through the lens of the editors.
I mean, I was going to ask if there was any room to improv because there are such great one-liners and some great dialogue to the series as well.
I would say the majority of the series is improv. The structure of the series was on the page because there's missions and so on and so forth. But we were out there kind of alone, and in that we did a lot of leaning on each other as a cast to to really explore. And I think you see a lot of that comes through in the series, especially with Ginger. I mean, the if you could see the page versus the what came out with Ginger, oh man, it's like a totally different character. She really took it, made it her own, rewrote stuff, improvised stuff, and then her improv leads to Steve's improv, leads to my improv, leads to Mike's improv, leads to Erica's improv. So one thing that was really great was that our directors were open and they let us play. And that you get what you get when it comes to that with artists. And sometimes it's excessive, other times it's successful.
Well, you do have such a great background in comedy, but you also have a great combined background in drama too. Was that what also made you want to be a part of the series? Was a chance to do everything all at once?
Well, what's the trip is that I didn't expect there to be, I thought there was going to be more comedy and action and less drama. But the way that the construct set out, and you'll see, I don't know if you've seen the whole series or not, but you'll see as it continues, my character has to deal with a lot of drama. And there's a lot of dramatic acting that has to take place later on in the series, in the second half of the season. So I ended up having to use my chops in that sense, but I was hoping to get away with just having a good time. and it instead they made me draw from the well of my internal experiences. I didn't get off easy this time.
You went
Put it
back
like
to the
that.
dramatic well, and like I have to tap into that. My
Had
gosh.
to, had to, because then the thing is that when the challenge is there, I'm up for it. That's what I do. I'm a craftsman. But in theory, you go in, you think, all right, this is going to be a fun, you know, little spy comedy kind of deal. And we're going to play with gadgets and do this and do that. But then it turned into some, deep emotional stuff with fragmented family and saving people's lives that you care about and losing people that you care about. So we start touching on a bunch of different notes.
Everything I've seen so far from the series is like an edge of your seat watch because there is such great action, but there's drama and there's comedy, which we've touched on plenty. Are there certain episodes, which I think you've also touched on, that you're most looking forward to people getting to watch coming up here?
Yeah, there are. I like I really like the episode. I'm biased, but I really like the episode that covers the mission, covers Gib and his relationship with his father. And they are purposely avoiding each other, and they're forced to confront the issues in their family within the context of the mission of the Omega Sector family. And so I really like that. I think that's the eighth episode. There's the finale, I think, is a two-part finale, and that was really cool because it was different. They were willing to try and explore something different. I think the front side of the series, I think you see um, a lot of foundational establishing of characters and stories and whatnot, and then we get as we get the audience on our side, we then start to expand the world, and so hopefully it's successful at that. You'll have to tell me.
We're one episode deep, so there's plenty more to come.
Exactly.
Have you been
Exactly.
receiving a lot of fan feedback so far to that pilot, telling you how great it was? I mean, the I talked about how edge of your seat, but also comedic it is. I think the pilot encompasses everything so well.
Thank you. Well, yeah, a lot of people. I've been receiving a lot of feedback on Facebook and on Twitter directly of people loving it. Instagram too, as a matter of fact, of people loving the show. And then I'm also reading feedback where people are still on the fence, and I appreciate that because that's honesty. And in that, what they're asking for in a lot of ways is to see if we can live up to their expectations. And the tricky part of that is when you're making anything based on other material that is well known, you have a bar that's already there. And I just ask that the audience gives us some time and judges the show on its own merit. And I think as time goes by, you'll care for the characters, and if you don't, then we failed. And that this is the bargain that you make with the audience because I want to make stuff that people like. I'm not interested in wasting people's time. You know what I mean? And so if you like it and it's edge of your seat action and you get a laugh or two because of the comedy, then you know what? We succeeded. And if you're like, they should have left this one alone and just let the movie, just talk for itself, then we failed. But that's the wager that we're making.
Well, as I said, we're only one episode in, so there's plenty more time to explore the series and every single character that's in it. What do you hope people take away? Or I think you actually may have just explored it all with what you really think is going to make it such a fast fans favorite series.
It's fun. I think it's fun, and I think it gives you the opportunity to step away from your real life. I think it gives you the opportunity to step away from the troubles of the real world and your real life for an hour. And with the way that the world is shaken out now, I think we can all use that. So there's a cartoon component of our show, and I say that lovingly. Like it's almost like an adult cartoon in the sense that for adults, it's a fun getaway. And if we can accomplish that, that's that's what we're setting out for. A show that doesn't take itself too seriously, but doesn't isn't too silly so that it's a farce. And so I'm interested to see how well we towed that line. And the only way to know is audience feedback. that's the beauty of the challenge of making television, you know?
Well, I'm Wednesday ready. I'm
Oh,
Wednesday
okay,
ready. I
okay,
came. I'm
okay.
coming.
We're doing about 40 hours away right now.
Yeah. But who's
Now, what I
counting?
wonder is, I wonder if the episodes are available early on Paramount Plus. I wonder, like, if it's like a midnight drop, if they are available only after the 10 o'clock slot on Wednesday nights. I gotta ask about
All right, something to explore.
that. Yeah, for real.
What else have you been busy working on, or has True Lies truly kept all of your attention the last few months?
Oh my goodness, True Lies was all encompassing. A little bit too much, to be honest. But it was, yeah, it took all of my time and all of my energy. It was a really hard series to make. Very, very difficult series to make. And it's physical, it's mentally draining, the whole bit. Um, and now that I'm home, I've just been recharging and creating, writing and doing stuff. I do voices for cartoons and so all of that good stuff. Yeah.
I touched on it privately with you, but what did it mean to you to be a part of such an iconic series like Ptolemy Gray and something that was so poignant for so many people who watched it?
You know, to me, those are the pieces that come around just a handful of times in your whole career if you're blessed, and I've been blessed to be a part of material that matters to people. And that's something that matters to people because there's a quiet epidemic of people dealing with Alzheimer's and dementia and various versions of demented states, and the people who care for them and care about them. And to be able to deal with something so important and with a master author like Walter Mosley being able to write that out, man, that's something I'm as proud of that series as I am of anything that I've done in my whole career. And it landed on a lot of people. A lot of people come up to me or reach out to me to speak about how honest that was and how hard it was for them to watch because of their mother, their father, their grandmother, their aunt, their uncle, someone that they know that they took care of, that they had to deal with and watch them, decline. So it was a real honor to get to portray that and to work with Sam. I mean, this is one of the greatest movie stars of all time. And I got to bang toe to toe with him, and he was wonderful. He was a great, generous actor. And one thing that's crazy that you would never know, Sam loves shows like True Lies. I remember when we went to go shoot the show, he was like, "Yeah, man, I've been looking for something for me and you to do since CSI Miami." Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I was like, "Really?" You never know who's watching what, you know?
That's right. You never know. Could be Oscar nominated anything. Oscar winners just reaching out to you. Let's do something. Oh my goodness. It's flattering,
It's
right?
crazy. It's crazy. It really is. And it's also another reminder, for the challenge of always doing your best because you don't know who's watching and you don't know if that thing will be the only thing they ever see you in.
That's right. And then they personally connect with you. And then from there, they say, okay, I saw the incredible work you did here, and I've got to have you in this with me because I think we could hold
Just trying to tell you,
it.
trying to tell you. Yeah.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the wonderful work you continue to do on our screens?
Thank you. That's all I want to say. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me with your time. And I'm on a mission to keep making it worth your time. So I appreciate it. It lands on me. It's no small thing, that I get to entertain people for a living and hopefully make you feel and make you think. It matters, and especially in times like now. The role of the artist is paramount.
No pun intended.
Exactly.